Good morning. Day 51, Bama to Baxter, day 16 on the AT. Frodo and myself, we are headed into the Smokies. It's snowing out. It's gonna be a bitter cold night. I checked the weather last night. Wind chills possibly down into the single digits. Normal temperatures around 27, 28 degrees for the low. But it's supposed to be like 25 to 35 mile-an-hour winds tonight. We just came from cabin in the woods. Craig and his wife were amazing. They got like a little cabin there that fits 3 hikers. Pretty nice place, and he took us into town for a pizza buffet for dinner last night. Hey buddy, how you doing? Anyway, crossing the dam, headed into the Smokies. It's a full box. It's so great to be in the Smoky Mountains. Smoky Mountains is one of the things that got me into in the very beginning. Wanted to do the AT to start with, and I'm glad to have snow on the first day. It's gonna be cold tonight, but next 3 days it's supposed to be really nice out. Thinking the high 50s to low 60s, but it's nice to have a little winter wonderland the first day in. It's absolutely amazing. Shuck Stack Tower. Shelter. Just left the Molly's Ridge Shelter, headed to the Russell Field Shelter. There's a couple reasons to hit up the Smokies today. One for the beautiful winter weather. The other is about 80, maybe 90% of the people I talked to over the past 4 to 5 days were purposely avoiding this weather, waiting until either tomorrow or the next day to enter the Smokies to avoid the snow and cold temperatures. So shelter areas should not be packed like they have been. There was 3 people staying at the Molly Ridge Shelter tonight, so I expect the Russell Field Shelter, I'm guessing either no one's there or probably just a couple people. So couldn't have timed the Smokies better. One for the beautiful winterish weather, and the other to avoid some of the crowds in the shelters this year. I made it to the Russell Field Shelter, almost 16 miles for the day. Whew, what a long day. Good day in the snow. Good morning. Day 52, Bama to Baxter. I think it's the 17th day on the AT. Last night was pretty cold. I'm gonna guess probably low 20s with the wind chill factor in the mid to low teens. Outside the shelter, definitely probably hit that single digit mark with the wind chill. So stayed warm. Definitely wore all my clothes last night, and didn't get out of bed until about 9 o'clock. So on trail here, sun is out. Supposed to be a warmer day and warmer night the next few days. Planning about 17 miles for today. Onward we go. Last night I definitely gained a new appreciation for the shelters, and not only the shelter itself, but the maintenance of it, and you know that the ATC and other groups do to help maintain these trails and shelters. I definitely would have froze my butt off had I had to set up my tarp last night. It was pretty windy, so that shelter, you know, provided more coverage from the wind than I think my tarp would have. But yeah, that was, not only that, my feet were so froze by the time I got to camp. All I wanted to do was get in my quilt and warm up my feet. And I found, so there was about 8 of us in that shelter last night. We all pushed through to get into the Smokies. To one, we didn't mind the snow and cold weather, but 2, we're all looking to avoid the crowds. Apparently there's about 50 people about a day behind us, so. That was the view on top of Rocky Top. Interesting to me, that is in North Carolina. Since I entered the Smokies, the trail pretty much huggers the border, so you're constantly bouncing back and forth between North Carolina and Tennessee. So I think this goes on through all of the Smokies, I believe, where you bounce back and across the border. So Rocky Top, North Carolina, which I thought was in Tennessee. So the thing that's made today very challenging is all the snow melt has created a lot of mud. This has been a lot of muddy terrain today. It's not like that Vermont mud either. It's just a thin layer of mud. Just been kind of sliding all over the place today. Well, about a mile left to camp. It's going to wind up being around a 16-mile day today. Today has been one of those days I've had to remind myself that any day on the trail is better than any day at the office. Yeah, it's just been this last half a day. Things have really thawed out. It's just a very muddy, slippery mess. At one point, I fell basically into a split formation. Luckily, I caught myself with my trekking poles, and I fell backwards when I did it. I was probably about 2 or 3 inches away from bashing my head on top of a big rock, so that probably wouldn't have ended that well. So yeah, luckily I was able to stop my fall with my trekking poles. Can't wait to get to camp tonight. I am ready for bed, dinner and bed. So. we tried to stop at the, what is it, Siler's shelter. There was not really room in there, and when I asked if there was any room left, no one wanted to answer. So pushing on to the next shelter. It's about another 1.7 miles or so, but that was a great view back there that I would not have had otherwise.